he says it, then I'll go with it. And if he wants to be a dictator, then so be it.
I'd rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years. Absolutely. This country needs a dictator. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Dictator and what it means. An absolute ruler, a tyrant, or despot. Number 3, it says an ancient Roman magistrate appointed temporarily to deal with an immediate crisis or emergency. And what's going on in America now? All right, Trump is about to push this Insurrection Act, where he can send military force against so-called American citizens. All right, and we're going to come back to this in a little bit, right? But it says, number 6, it says one invested with absolute authority, especially a magistrate created in times of exigence and distress, invested with unlimited power, see? And that's why I brought it out about a month or so ago. This article is from theatlantic.com back in December 2025. It says, President for life. Donald Trump is trying to amass the powers of a king, you see? So basically, they're telling us in this article that Trump is going to remain in power. He's going to remain in office, right? You see, his first term, 2017 to 2021. His second term, 2025, and no ending. All right? So they're letting you know that he's the guy. Number 7, it says, originally a magistrate without colleague in Republican ancient Rome, who held full executive authority for a term granted by the Senate legislator, typically to conduct a war, you see? And, you know, the spirit had it where Trump changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. All right? Number 8, it says a totalitarian leader of a country, nation, or government, man. So he's definitely that guy, man. All right? And I just want to make a quick point before we get into the heart of the lesson here, right? This caught my attention the other day. So this is 1 John 2 and 18. And it reads, it says, little children, it is the last time, as you have heard, the anti-Messiah shall come, or Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many anti-Messiahs or Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. All right, so check this out in the lexicon, right? Under the word Antichrist. All right.
Strong's G 500. Antechritos. Antechritos.
It says the adversary of the Messiah. Now let's check this out at the bottom here, just to make my point, okay? So it says right here, it says, for Paul teaches that the Antichrist will be an individual man of the very worst character, instigated by the devil to try to palm himself off as God. 2 Thessalonians 2, 3 through 10. The author of the Apocalypse discovers the power of Antichrist in the sway of Imperial Rome and his person in the Emperor Nero, soon to return from the dead. All right. So I thought that was kind of heavy, because are they trying to say that the Emperor Nero is back in the reincarnation? Okay. Is Nero back ruling in the last days? You know, because all of these articles that have came out that speak about the Emperor Nero all tie back to Trump. You see? You know, and we've been saying that Trump is Nero coming back. You know, so everything is spiritual. You see? But anyway, I want to get into the main point of this lesson here. All right, I just wanted to land back off the information that Elder Apostle Gabar had brought out in his lesson, going into the internal implosion, which was pretty much a response to the lesson that I had did. Okay, but he brought out this video here, and I got it pulled up here, entitled G. Edward Griffin the capitalist conspiracy and inside view of international banking, 1973. All right. So the point I want to make in this lesson here is that they're executing the plan or the play right in your face. All right. And I want to get into that here. So let's play the video. Right. And we'll make that point.
After a man has far more money than he possibly can spend for pleasures, what is left to excite him? For those with a ruling class mentality, the answer is power, raw power over other human beings. Money can buy such power only to a point. Beyond that, politics is the sport, and world politics is the ultimate game. For the purposes of this presentation, we have referred to those in the international power structure as capitalists. But these men are not really capitalists in the classical sense. They are merely rich socialists. They have gained their vast wealth not through honest competition and free enterprise, but by political influence and favoritism, the granting of government protection to eliminate competition, and by gigantic fraud of the money system, backed by government force. These men are striving to create a world superstate, with the expectation that from behind the scenes they will be the ones who will rule. Not free enterprise capitalism, but big government is the conspiracy's life force. World government is its ultimate goal. But what is the best way to sell big government and then world government to a people like ours, historically devoted to an independent republic of limited powers? The answer is simple. In revolutionary literature, the tactic is known as pressure from above and below. It's the strategy that Colonel House laid down in his book, Philip Drew, Administrator. Deliberately create problems, and then offer only those solutions that result in the expansion of government. Create conditions so frightful at home and abroad that the abandonment of personal liberties and national sovereignty will appear as a reasonable price for a return to domestic tranquility and world peace. If those who seek world dominion can stimulate leftist mobs into violent confrontation with local law enforcement, and also provide exhaustive news coverage so that the entire nation can see and tremble.
Yeah, so this is what's going on right now. All right, let's make an example real quick.
I don't know what the fuck it's gonna take to get ICE out of here. But the governor, the mayor, it ain't working. And if it's not working, community gonna take care of it. There's only so much longer people gonna take this shit. This is murder. And MPD is standing around protecting it. They just pepper sprayed me. Before that, they tear gassed us, dropped flashbangs on us. We were just only asking them to lead the community. What happened to the separation agreement? This shit's sad. This shit is sad. And if, like I said, if the politicians can't do anything, the people will. The people will. That's all I got to say, man. This shit is fucked up.
Yeah, so this is the play right here. All right, it's happening. As we were just listening to in this video real quick, right? This is Proverbs 4:16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." Verse 17, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence." And this is the so-called white man, Esau, man. This is exactly what they're doing right here. All right, let's play some more.
Then the peaceful and freedom-loving majority can be programmed to accept a vast expansion of government powers and even a national police force, offered supposedly to end the violence. If those who seek world dominion can raise the specter of an enemy armed to the teeth with superior atomic weapons on the verge of launching a nuclear holocaust, and also offer world government as the prevention, then millions of Americans can be programmed to accept the loss of national sovereignty as our last best hope for peace. This is the meaning of pressure from above and below. To put over police-state measures at home, they need chaos, crime, and anarchy in the streets. To sell the idea of world government, they need the constant threat of nuclear war. Or, as they say in revolutionary circles, the real action is in the reaction.
And that's what's happening. Okay? Real fast, Isaiah 32 and 5. This is in the NLT. Isaiah 32 and 5, it says, "In that day ungodly fools will not be heroes, scoundrels will not be respected." Verse 6, "For fools speak foolishness and make evil plans." Right? And make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord. About the Lord Yahweh Shai. They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty. Verse 7, "The smooth tricks of scoundrels are evil. They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, even when the cause of the poor is just." Right? So they plot crooked schemes. Okay, so this is all part of that, as the Elder Apostle Gabar was bringing out, going all the way back to 1973. Okay, so these same methods and measures that were explained in this video is exactly what they're doing right now. All right, they're executing the plan right in your face, man. All right, is the point.
Trump is going to call a state of emergency and people are going to be stuck. I really see that they're baiting Americans. They're pushing Americans to the edge now. Jobs are low. Wages are low. Trump made billions of dollars in 6 months. Kushner and his people, his junta of Witkoff and Kushner and all of these guys, Kellogg, all of them are making billions. Nothing, everything is to enrich them. I know these people understand that, but Germany is doing it too. This is what to me is interesting. Germany has always been secretive. They're secret. They're making just as much fucking money as the Americans. The Americans are just more ostentatious. They brag about it. They brag about it in the German.
Yeah, like she said, they're this government is purposely pushing these people to the edge. All right, they want the civil wars, they want the shootouts. Okay, pressure from above and pressure from below. 2 Ezra 15 and 14, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right? So this is what she was saying. All right, these people are getting pushed to the edge. They want the reaction so they can be justified, and they're bringing this Insurrection Act. Right? This is from military.com. Insurrection Act, how it's been used and what Trump wants to do with it. Right? So let's play this video. All right, this guy breaks it down here. Bear with me.
There's 3 sections to the Insurrection Act. The first section says, if the governor requests the assistance of federal troops, the president may deploy them. The second one, and I want to get the language just so I don't say it wrong. The second section of the Insurrection Act says that the president can deploy federal troops even against the state's wishes in order to, quote, enforce the laws or to suppress rebellion against the U.S. government. There is no question that the President of the United States can use the Insurrection Act as legal authority to call out National Guard troops. The last time this was done was in 1992 by George Herbert Walker Bush because of the riots in L.A. The second question, though, is what can they do once they're there? And my response is they can't do very much because they cannot engage in law enforcement.
There you go. So he has the ability to send the military on the people. All right. And right here at the bottom, it says federal forces typically are called to quell widespread violence that has broken out on the local level. Before Washington's involvement, when local authorities asked for help, it says when presidents acted without local request, it was usually to enforce the rights of individuals who were being threatened or not protected by the state or local governments. Excuse me. It says a third scenario is an outright insurrection, like the Confederacy during the Civil War. Experts in the constitutional and military law say none of that clearly applies in Minneapolis, right? Because it's turning up out there, man. Okay? And we ain't got to read the rest of that. We know what's going on, right? Here's some more. Right? This is Psalm 140 because, hey, they're getting ready to push this thing, man. All right? Martial law. All right? As we heard earlier, a dictatorship, right? Psalm 140 and 1, it says, "Deliver me, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war." All right. So like I said, going all the way back to this plan here from 1973. Okay, they're executing this thing. All right. They're declaring war against the so-called American people right now. This is the time of trouble. Jacob's trouble, right? They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent, adder's poison is under the lips. Salah. Keep me, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me, and in cords they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Salah. All right. So part of the traps, okay, is this Insurrection Act. All right, and this ICE force is a small, basically like a small military within itself. All right, and they're all about, whatever Trump says. All right, Trump's Gustavo. Okay, these far right right wingers, the Triple K, the Proud Boys, ex cops, military, they all up in there, man. And they're ready to come down with the sword upon the people. All right? So continually in his heart are they gathered for war, It says, verse 7, O power Yahweh Shemel Shai. Verse 6, Psalm 140 and 6. I said unto the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, thou art my power. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. It says, O power of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. All right, so the battle is here. All right, they're pushing ICE to go door to door. They can round up anybody. All right, and we've been saying this forever that it was beyond so-called immigration. They're coming after everybody, and anybody that's against the policies of Trump. All right, what's going on in the government? Okay. What your political views are, all of that, man. Religious views, okay? They got the whole, Palantir and Gideon database set up so they know who's who. All right? This shit is going down, man. All right? It's not a game. Psalms 37 and 12. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. His teeth go back to his power, okay? The wicked plotteth against the just. This is what we were just listening to here, as the elder apostle brought out yesterday. Okay, these are all the plans of the wicked. All right, it says, the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Right, Revelation 12 and 12. All right, he has to come down with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time, man. All right, so shit is definitely, going to escalate. All right, they're like we heard here earlier from this woman here, as she said, they're purposely pushing the people over to the edge so people can respond and fight back, right?
Trump is going to call a state of emergency and people are going to be stuck. I really see that they're baiting Americans. They're pushing Americans to the edge now. Jobs are low. Wages are low. Trump made billions of dollars in 6 months. Kushner and his people, his junta of Witkoff and Kushner and all of these guys, Kellogg, all of them are making billions. Nothing, everything is to enrich them. I know these people understand that, but Germany is doing it too. This is what to me is interesting. Germany has always been secretive. They're secret. They're making just as much fucking money as the Americans. The Americans are just more ostentatious. They brag about it. They brag about it in the German.
Yep, and this is the play. Okay? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 13, prayer for help in trouble. Psalm 13 and 1, it says, how long wilt thou forget me, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? All right, because right now, you know, this devil got the power for right now. All right, so he's about to do what he has to do. Okay? Verse 3, it says, consider and hear me, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, my power. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, lest my enemies say I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, because he have dealt bountifully with me, man. So the Lord is going to be with the elect in the time of trouble, as we keep repeating here, man. All right? It is the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? This is from the telegraph.co.uk. Latin America rebels could form super guerrilla army to take on Trump. Violent groups urged to join forces and fight enemies of the greater homeland. You see that? So people are standing up. Okay? As he said, you know, he was planning on taking over the Western Hemisphere, all of Latin America. All right? So there's going to be some type of resistance, man. So shit is about to get super ugly, man. All right? A lot of blood, a lot of chaos in the streets, man. Okay? 2nd Ezra 16, and we'll wrap it up with that. I just wanted to make the point that, again, they are executing the plan, the play, right in your face, man. Okay? 2nd Ezra 16. Let's go there. Straight to the point. 2nd Ezra 16 and 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? See that? So it's going down, man. Brace for impact. Shalom.